Shane and you're not Shane.
This never gets old.
It's confusing. Now I'm going to talk about Supernatural because we have a Supernatural podcast. But we're really here to talk about Lanterns, the new show on HBO Max about Green Lanterns, except it's kind of neo-westerny.
The gun never jams.
The gun shoots Nerf bullets was my favorite one after Supergirl.
I saw someone that said the gun had a silencer on it.
Yeah. The gun had a silencer on it, question mark, is really funny. Anyway, we're talking about the newest installment in the DCU. The pilot episode of Lanterns just came out. Mm-hmm. Now, you might be asking, where is Shane and why are you doing one episode of a TV show? Shane was just visiting for 2 weeks and he had to drive home, and
look out for more short films.
Yeah, well, we were making a bunch of stuff. So keep an eye out for that. Watch our newest one, The Friendship Files. It's very silly, very stupid, but in a good way.
It's funny.
So anyway,
and
Shane, I offered to have Breck come do this one with me because he had to drive home and it took him 2 days to drive home. So we watched The Lanterns last night, and I think both of us have, a decent bit to say about it and how we feel about it, how we felt about the run up to it, and also the grander DCU and our feelings on that.
Yeah.
We wanted to do this. I think we should start with a little Lanterns discussion, or a little Green Lanterns discussion, broader, not necessarily the show. What was your introduction to the Green Lanterns? I know you're a big DC girly.
I've always been a DC girly. It's probably when they show up in Young Justice, to be honest with you. Because my kind of main introduction was I was watching Teen Titans, Young Justice, and I believe Justice League Unlimited back in the day.
Yep.
And I would pretty much skip to any episode that had Batman in it because I was like, I don't care about these other people. Who are these losers? Give me Batman. Which is still vaguely how I operate.
That's so cognizant of the entire DC Comics fan base and how they have run their business model for 25, 30 years.
I would be like, if Wonder Woman is there, I will allow it.
Yeah. Well, of course.
That's GOAT, first of all.
Yeah.
But so I guess, because there's two Green Lanterns.
So technically there's like 5, but
in Young Justice,
the two main Green Lanterns.
So that was my introduction. Is I remembered seeing Hal Jordan and John Stewart.
Yeah, and then Guy Gardner shows up eventually.
Yes, but I never, the most I would say I've ever interacted with Green Lantern is the Ryan Reynolds. I'm just kidding. I've never seen that one.
We should watch that. Honestly, that would be
a
fun.
Really funny one. But no, what was it? I think it's one of the animated DC movies where they basically do Doomsday.
Like Brightest Day or whatever.
Yes.
Oh, Doomsday. So Justice League War?
I believe it was Justice League War.
Where they're fighting Darkseid.
Where Hal Jordan is absolutely wants nothing to do with Batman and he thinks he's a total D-bag.
And Batman takes the ring off his finger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deeply funny. So
it's a good one.
That's pretty much before any of this, that was really kind of everything. And then of course, we saw Superman last summer 4 times at the movie theater, mind you. Guy Gardner, funniest guy in the world to me. So. I
guess.
That haircut should be against your vows.
The haircut should what? The haircut should be what? Anyway, okay, yeah. So my intro was definitely Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, the 2 animated shows.
Yeah.
So of course my favorite Lantern is John Stewart. It's the one I grew up with. I think he's the best Lantern.
Pure aura.
Pure aura. He's nothing but aura. Yeah.
Every VA they ever get for him has the most gravitas.
Yeah, I really, really like him. And so when this was announced and Aaron Pierre was kind of a controversial pick for the role.
And hey, he was Rebel Ridge Hive. Okay?
And that was the thing. I watched Rebel Ridge and then it was announced shortly after that he was in the running and I was like, oh, well, he would be great. Now, that controversy I am not qualified to talk about in any way, shape, or form. It has nothing to do with Aaron Pierre specifically. It has to do with darkness of skin tone, which, by the way, very valid in that John Stewart originated, and there were not a ton of black superheroes, and John Stewart was a dark-skinned black superhero, and that was a really big deal, and they really had to fight for that. So. That controversy aside, I am not the person to talk about it, but it is a very important conversation that should be had. Seek out better sources than 2 white people on a podcast talking about a superhero show.
Yeah, definitely. It's historically not the best kind of people to be talking about that.
No, but I was really excited about the premise of this show, which just the pitch is True Detective meets Green Lantern space cop. Like,
I've heard all I needed to hear.
Like, legitimately. And it's like a murderer's row of great writer. Like, like Tom King, another controversial figure, but Damon Lindelof and a few other really big people are the creative driving force behind this show.
And it looks like a good TV show.
And it looks like a prestige television show.
It behaves like a TV show. It's not, and you and I have talked about this a lot with not just, DC shows, but superhero shows in general, where it feels like they wanted to make a movie, and it's just an 8-part movie.
It's the Disney Plus thing, right? Where the Disney Plus specifically is like Falcon and the Winter Soldier should have just been Captain America 4. Yeah. Like, that's what it just should have been.
Well, you can't. I won't say that. Never mind.
Anyway, that's just what it should have been. So I appreciate that DC, they have thus far made, they've made for the DCEU, technically the Suicide Squad is in the DCU. Technically, Peacemaker season 1 and 2, Creature Commandos, Superman, Supergirl, and now
Peacemaker
Lanterns.
1 and 2.
I love Peacemaker 1. I love parts of Peacemaker 2.
We were Creature Commandos Hive as well.
I thought Creature Commandos was really good. And then I thought Superman was genuinely incredible. Yeah. And then Peacemaker season 2 was a little rough. Yeah. Not perfect. You can definitely feel that James Gunn was splitting his time, and that was the thing that took the brunt of it.
But John Cena, great as ever.
And then Supergirl is not nearly as bad as everyone is saying it is.
No.
However, Creature Commandos felt special. Superman felt really special. Yeah. Supergirl felt so standard. Yeah. And that was its ultimate issue.
Yeah. It needed a female director.
100%.
No tea, no shade to Craig Gillespie, except there is some tea and some shade. But it needed a female director. It needed...
Yeah.
And
so anyway, people with the DCU are already like bailing out. They're already like, look at this, it's falling apart. And it's like
bad project.
I don't know, guys. Supergirl bombed. Clayface looks really good. Lanterns had kind of a weak marketing run. It was a weak marketing run, but I feel like everyone I've seen talk about has been like, Lanterns is really good. Let me be clear about this. The marketing run was fine. I was never overly impressed with any of the trailers. As we got closer and closer, I got more and more excited, but I was always excited. I wasn't that person who's like, this show looks dumb. Where's all the green? It's like the green is going to show up.
The green's going to show up. And apparently the trailers that we've been seeing, just episode 1. Like the vast majority of what's been in the trailers they've already released has been in episode 1. Oh, no. No?
Maybe the first trailer. Okay. But there's a lot of beams from the sky that we have not seen. You know what I mean? However, I do think that is a lot of it. They're
holding back on us in a way that I deeply, deeply appreciate.
So anyway,
treat me like a normal person watching a normal TV show and not a comic fan watching a comic TV show.
Which is exciting. Funny. We'll get to that. Anyway, so the state of the DCU is not nearly as poor as everyone says it is. However, with the regime changes at Warner, we'll see what happens. I think this is really good. How did you feel about the casting of Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan, going with an older Hal Jordan?
So I think that's really fun because they're giving us, again, there are a few like tropes in stories that have stuck with people much more than like old timer showing the rookie around. Like I think that's, especially if you're doing this kind of like detective, kind of thing. Yeah. Like I think it's such a great idea because you're kind of bridging the gap between people who grew up with Hal Jordan as Green Lantern and the people like you and me who grew up with Jon Stewart. Yeah. In a way that I think is really fun. And also Kyle Chandler, sexy. Yeah. Well, he looks really, and he's just a great actor. Every time Kyle Chandler shows up, you're never like, ugh, Kyle Chandler. You're like, Kyle Chandler!
Kyle Chandler is a highlight of basically everything he's in.
Like,
he's wonderful.
Yeah. Like, and then all of these pictures, what was really getting me was all these pictures of him like when he was younger where you're like, damn, he does look like Hal Jordan. Like, that's crazy.
Oh,
like,
I think he is such a good choice for Hal.
Insane choice.
Like, I was a little bit confused and concerned when it was announced that a like 50, late 50s, early 60s year old guy was playing Hal Jordan. I was like, what are we doing exactly? Yeah. As the show got closer and it was described more and more what it was, I became fully on board with it. I think Kyle Chandler is such a good pick for Hal Jordan. He's got the attitude, he's got the personality, he's got kind of the arrogance but wanting to do the right thing kind of vibe. Yeah. And then contrasting that with, and I even think the look they're going with, but contrasting that with Aaron Pierre, who's so rigid, who's so stiff, it's so perfect. Like oozing with charm. Like Aaron Pierre's a deeply attractive man.
So, when he rolls up in that goatee at the end, I was like, hello, sailor.
So let's start here with like a spoiler-free discussion on the episode, and then we will jump into a spoiler thing. I want to start with the big surprise. Well, this was kind of leaked, not shortly before, but I wasn't aware of it as an official thing ever. But the episode very quickly, it starts in 1996, where Hal Jordan is doing an interview explaining. There's a lot of time. If I had to give into this any negative, there's a lot of timeline stuff you have to grab onto, where like Hal becomes Green Lantern in 1986. He becomes publicly Green Lantern in 1996, where he's been flying around, but now he's very publicly doing it, revealed his identity. But we start there with a young John Stewart who is being groomed by his military father to be the next Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Literally to the point where he takes him out in the backyard, puts an apple on his head, and shoots the apple off his head to make sure he doesn't flinch.
Yeah.
That is
John, we got to kill this guy.
That is child abuse.
John, we got to kill this guy.
Yeah. So I'm really fascinated where they're going there, because I think in the comics, John's dad is a weird figure in his life, at least some of them.
You're telling me that comic book superheroes have weird and strange relationships with their fathers?
Correct.
This has never happened before.
Correct. Well, and I say that because I'll just say this. I've only read a couple of Green Lantern comics. The most recent were
show off the spread.
Show off the spread. Were the War Journal comics by, let me make sure I get this right, by Philip Kennedy Johnson. I read volume 1 and 2. These are John Stewart specific. I actually thought these were pretty cool. They're nothing overly special. However, if you wanted to get into John Stewart, good place to jump in, because it gives you a good like John as a mythological character in a lot of ways. And then the key art they used when they announced them were the Green Lantern Earth 1. So I read both Earth 1 volume 1 and 2. This involves both of them. I think these are big inspirations on playing with the mythology. However, I don't think they're using this mythology. I do think they're going to take some bigger things from that run. So if you want to get like an idea of kind of the tone they're going for, that's a good place to go. But that has both Hal and John. John is a Yellow Lantern in that comic, but not evil.
What can for the fans?
I will not be explaining at this time. Thank you very much.
But what are the pink lanterns? I'm confused. Are they gay ones?
No. Damn. Maybe. I don't know.
Is that like how pink kryptonite makes Clark gay?
Yes.
All-timer comic panel.
Yeah.
We've reclaimed that. I've reclaimed it from being homophobic to being funny.
Anyway, so so those are the Green Lantern comics I've read. I'm huge into Justice League the Animated Series and Justice League Unlimited. More specifically, Unlimited. Unlimited was always my favorite.
Unlimited's better.
We were introduced to this young John in the comic, the War Journal comic. His relationship with his mother is really important. They don't mention his father much. I don't remember. It's been a bit.
We don't see his mom in the show.
No, it's just him and his three brothers. Yeah, or two brothers and him. And
it's fascinating because what I really enjoyed was like, you think he's going to get in trouble for watching something about Green Lantern, and they're like, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. And then his dad comes and you're like, oh, he's going to get like...
He's like, what? So what's his name?
Yeah.
John something?
Or
Hal something. Thank you. So anyway, that is an opener to a show. And then we hard cut to not present day, hard cut to 2020 or 2016. Which that structurally, and then spoiler for the end of the episode, if you want to skip 30 seconds, we won't talk about this much. Yeah. Then at the end of the episode, jumping to 2026, which is modern DCU timeline. Yeah. I found this a really interesting structure for the show.
Yeah.
The idea of setting at least the bulk of the main story in 2016, where there's this John is a trainee. Who to a reluctant Hal Jordan who doesn't want to give up the ring, but who is clearly broken in some ways. Yeah. Fascinating. I love when they play with the mythological nature of these heroes, right? Like if you read The Final Frontier, the New Frontier, if you read DC's New Frontier, you can tell Darwin Cook is like Green Lantern's the coolest character in this book.
Green Lantern's cool.
Because Green Lantern's cool. The Green Lantern power ring is up there with like all-time fictional items you want to have.
Yeah, go watch a previous episode of this podcast if you want to see them discuss fictional weapons in their like draft for fictional weapons. Because you said a power ring.
Spoiler alert! I took power ring number 1.
Yeah, gotta.
I took the power ring number 1.
Gotta.
So the
as we can tell with his funny usage of the ring, with Hal's like goofy usage of the
Hal's
ring
making a bottle bottle opener
and a dollar bill.
Yeah. So it is really, really weird. and perfect what they're doing with this. It's very neo-Western, right? It's very like we're going to because I'm a friend of the podcast, Ethan, was a little frustrated when it was announced that it was going to take place in a small town, or at least mostly in a small town. He's like, it's Green Lanterns, take me to space. They're very clearly taking us to space.
Oh yeah.
There's very clearly something that's going to happen. I loved this premise of like we're putting it in a small town with some kind of alien threat.
The Lanterns are kind of out of their depth. They keep getting told, go away. This isn't your jurisdiction.
Yeah, like Earth is a backwater to them. So like we're
true.
Which is true to us too.
That's my favorite joke of all time is, do you think aliens pass by Earth and lock their doors?
Yes, like 100%. So Hal is also clearly upset that he does not want to be giving up this ring.
No.
And John is just trying to endure it, but clearly tentatively, right? There's the scene from the trailer where he drives off is in this episode. Hal jumps out of the car and drives John off thing. Is in this episode. Then we cut to John walking up the road, and he calls his dad, and his dad's like, you just got to endure it. You know, that job will be yours. And he's like, don't you still want it? He's like, I don't know, right? There's clearly something going on with John and his desire to have this, even though he would be the perfect Lantern. He would be the right guy. But I love that they show John messing up in this episode.
Yeah.
Right? He's really smart. He's really capable. He's really level-headed and ready for anything that comes his way. He does mess up.
Yeah.
Because he's not willing to be Hal Jordan, he's got to find his own way to be it, right? Yeah. So Hal is going completely outside of the chain of command. Yeah. John is going completely inside the chain of command. Together, that's where you find the right thing. It was like sometimes when you're an intergalactic space cop with a magic WMD ring, you're going to have to play a few things.
Sometimes you got to bend the rules, and sometimes you got to play them straight.
Yeah, like I think that's really interesting. This is also a great cast of like that guys, right?
Oh,
like,
100%. I see everyone. I'm like, oh, hey, don't I know her?
I know.
Don't I know him?
It's really exciting.
I really appreciate that this is also treating us like we're smart people who know how to watch a TV show. Yeah. Where they're like, we're not just going to jump to 2026 and you're not going to know what's happening in 26. Like they're treating us like people who can handle interwoven timelines and storylines.
And I'm going to be really curious how they interweave the 2016 timeline and the 2026 timeline. Yeah. Because I'm assuming the B plot is going to be 2026 and the A plot will be the mystery going on.
Yeah.
In the beginning with the 2016 timeline of them in Rustmore, Arkansas or something. Whatever. It doesn't matter. We've watched this episode once.
Middle of nowhere, Nebraska.
Yeah, where the small town detective doesn't want to, and there's clearly some illegal militia going on that has enlisted the help of the Lanterns.
Yeah. There's a really interesting, you guys remember 2016. Crazy year. There's also we'll get to that in a minute here when we'll talk a little more in depth about the episode, but I think it's really interesting how this episode was not afraid to tackle like political themes.
Yeah. Tragedies that are common in America.
Yeah. Like tragedies that are common in America, or the concept of like, there's a character who says, if we want to protect our planet from people who aren't from this planet and blah, blah, which is like, who else was saying things kind of vaguely like that in 2016? Like,
dog. Great point. Great point.
And I'll just go ahead and say it was cracking me up. So spoiler alert. But it's when Hal's interrogating this guy who he thinks is an alien, and he's like, who's the president of the United States? And he's like, Barack Obama. And he's like, that's the only opinion a rural Nebraskan has on Barack Hussein Obama.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, there's some controversy surrounding his birth certificate. And he's like, and then you could tell the alien's like,
he got me.
So funny.
That scene's great.
That is perhaps my favorite scene of the episode.
Right. Again, interrogating the idea of what these heroes are, where like, God, I can't believe, how do you work with somebody you don't respect? The sheriff says to John, and John's like, I do respect him.
Yeah.
He's like, he's fearless.
Yeah.
And he is, but she's also right.
Yeah.
Where she explains, he's got nobody.
Yeah. He doesn't care about himself. It's not fearlessness.
He doesn't care about anyone.
Yeah.
He's lonely.
Yeah.
Like that's what makes him fearless. That's the innate struggle that I find most interesting about Lanterns, right? Is it's willpower versus fear, and fear is the killer of willpower.
Yeah.
Where it's like what you can endure is how strong you are as a Lantern.
Fear is the mind killer.
your ring has a power limit. It's got a battery to it. But the better and more willpower you have to generate into the ring creates better constructs, creates stronger constructs. I just love that idea of if you are just a regular guy who got a magical item and transformed you into a superhero, very Power Rangers-esque, but it's how you use it and how tough you are as a mental and physical person that makes it powerful, right? So you get, in the War Journal comic, John doesn't even need a ring anymore. He's so connected to the emerald energy that he doesn't even have to have a ring. He can just generate it from his body.
Damn, that's cool. That's cool.
And like how, like the thing that they've always done is Hal Jordan's always been the really creative one with his constructs, and John has always been the really like meat and potatoes military-esque guy whose willpower is just unbeatable. You know what I mean?
We don't even get to see him. He has one usage of the ring in this episode, and it's off camera. Yeah. But it's fun. I mean, he tells like Hal's like, "What'd you use?" And he's like, "I made bubble wrap." He's like, "It's a good idea."
Yeah. It's really
funny.
So, but the mystery of this has really gotten me. The end of the episode really is what really made me like lean in. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's cool. So I'm just going to spoil the ending. Spoiler alert from here on out.
Spoiler alert. We're not talking about the episode.
This episode confirms that they are killing Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
They find him in 2026 on the bleachers where this all starts.
Yeah, with like a hole in his head.
A bullet hole in his head.
In the same spot he was sitting when Hal found him in 2016.
And his ring has been stolen, confirming John is not a Lantern.
Yeah.
And which makes us think, okay, is Guy Gardner taking his ring? Nope. Guy Gardner's ring is different than Hal Jordan's ring. So they've cleared, something happens along the way with this mystery that keeps John from becoming a Lantern, or maybe he chooses not to. Mm-hmm. We don't know yet, right?
Yeah, we don't know if he's been prevented or if he's been holding back. Yeah. And we'll now have to kind of address that he does in fact have to be.
Yeah, the Earth needs a new protector, and it needs him because he's trained his whole life for it and he's right for it. I found that deeply interesting because what it telegraphs to me is one of two things. Hal goes missing at the end of the 2016 timeline. Or the 2016 timeline gets resolved, John no longer in contention to be a Lantern, and Hal remains a Lantern on Earth for the next 10 years until he is inevitably killed and his ring is stolen. Those are both completely valid versions of this, where it's like, or Hal goes missing is the other version, where it's like Hal goes missing at the end of the 2016 timeline, and this is him reappearing without his ring.
Yeah.
I think the Guardians are going to be vague villains in this. I think the Manhunters will be around.
Can you explain the politics of the Green Lanterns to me?
No.
Okay.
I mean, this show's clearly doing them different. Like, the Guardians have generally been kind of like jerks, but the thing is the ring selects a user and then they become the guardian of that sector. So like, I don't think Earth is the only sector Hal is supposed to be protecting, right? In this one, at the beginning of this episode, he explains he was off-world causing some peace. It's
a great turn of phrase.
Stabilizing a warring planet or something. So yeah, they're just They're just space cops, and if they become unworthy of the ring, I don't really know. But like, you can give in to fear and you get the yellow ring. You can give in to anger and get a red ring. There's all these different rings you can get.
Word.
And then green is the willpower, the peacekeeper. They're the most organized. They're the largest. I'm surprised we had no mention of Kilowog or anybody. We see Sinestro in the trailer for the next episode. But it's seemingly Sinestro's already not a threat. He's already in prison. He's already something, So don't really know.
Fascinating. I'm really excited to see what happens in this show.
Yeah, that is my biggest thing. It's not one of, like, I didn't watch this and think this is one of the great pilot episodes of a TV show or anything. But I did watch and go, okay, we're setting the stage for a really weird mystery that can go 4 or 5 different ways where we don't know.
Which is really nice. Like, we don't get a whole lot of, we get a lot of like crime dramas now, but we don't really get any true mysteries anymore.
Well, the interesting thing to me is that, right, so flashing into 2026 so often would take the legs out of the 2016 timeline. It doesn't.
No.
Because we don't know if we don't know if Hal disappeared. We don't know if John became a Lantern. We don't know what has been going, like, right? We don't know if the resolution of the 26 timeline makes Hal, I keep saying John, makes Hal go missing. So we could get to the end of the 2016 timeline and Hal just goes, "You're not the Lantern," and flies away with the ring.
Yeah.
I think what we're going to be doing is the Parallax story where Hal Jordan dies and then becomes Parallax, and later in season 2 or 3 or whatever, that's when Hal will come back as Parallax, and we will have two Green Lanterns. We'll have those two Green Lanterns.
Which
is what I think.
So, what do we have so far in the DCU in terms of Justice League? That
in terms of Justice League?
Because we obviously don't have a Justice League yet.
That's going to be Man of Tomorrow. Man of Tomorrow is going to put that together for sure.
Thank you, God.
Well, the thing
the
is...
gun never jams.
Yeah, so if we're talking classic Justice League members, it's Hawk Girl, Superman, and now GL. Either one of the GLs. We don't have a Batman yet. We don't have a Flash yet. We don't have a Martian Manhunter yet. We don't have... Cyborg, we don't. Yeah, so it's really the.
Let Cyborg be a teenager. Go let him hang out with the Teen Titans. Why does he always have to be an adult?
I couldn't agree with that more.
He's a hang out with his peers.
To me, he's a Teen Titans member. Who? Adria Ajorna.
Oh, Adria Arjona. Is it Arjona?
I don't know. I love her.
That diva, we love her.
She is good. She's playing Wonder Woman.
She's playing Wonder Woman.
They were like, she's playing Maxima.
Can we just fill this room with thank you.
Woman.
Can we just fill this room with thank you.
I'm into it. I wanted someone taller.
Yeah.
But I'm also cool with the like shorter, scrappy kind of thing.
I think it's funny if her and Superman will be tall and then they get a shorter Batman because there is pretty much nothing I am amused by
She's too short to be, you know what I mean? Like whoever they get as Batman,
unfortunately,
is going to be 6'2". Like,
sad.
I get it. It's fine. Anyway, so that's kind of where we're going. And it's been announced that Jon Stewart vaguely announced that Jon Stewart will be in Man of Tomorrow, the next Superman movie.
Thank you.
Oh, great. Fantastic, right?
Thank you so much.
Supergirl will also be in that, right?
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Is she ever a member of the Justice League?
In Unlimited, yeah.
Oh.
She's never one of the core members. She's always kind of doing her own thing.
I'm busy.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm busy having fun.
Yeah.
She's having permanent hot girl summer.
Yeah.
And I love that for her.
We love that for her.
I love her.
Yeah, so this show, like that's what's really got me about the show is the innate curiosity and the fact that, like, again, that ending where you lean forward and you go, wait a minute.
Yeah. I love knowing that there is a foregone conclusion to something, but you have no idea how you're going to get there. That is one of my favorite like storytelling devices because I think it's also a really bold choice to make in a TV show like this of, again, I think this show, are you telling me getting talented professionals who make talented professional TV makes you have a professional and good TV show?
Yeah.
I think I'm really enjoying the trust that this show has already placed in us of like, we believe that you will still watch this even though you know that Hal's going to die because you want to know how Hal's going to die and what's going to happen. You know, like, I think that's really fascinating. And yeah, I think they're both just like overall great episode. I'm very invested in this mystery.
Oh, yeah. Like it's going to be interesting. I'm curious. This is a random thought. Did you need it to be TVMA?
I'd like when people say fuck. I don't know.
I know, but I'm also just kind of like, did I need it to be TVMA?
It didn't need to be TVMA, but I'm enjoying Hal Jordan being able to say fuck.
Yeah, and able for them to talk with the thing they talk about at, you know, at this MS mass, this mass casualty event.
Yes. There we go.
Being able, I don't think they could say that in a non-TVMA project.
No.
So it's like that part of it I like, but then there's a sex scene in this that's like really PG-13.
It's a very PG-13, which I saw with people complaining about that. I'm like, whatever, who cares?
Complain about it being PG-13?
Yeah. Or? They're like, this is HBO. I should be able to see boobs. And
like,
okay, whatever, weirdo.
That is also really funny is that John immediately gets into town and sleeps with who is clearly the villain of the season's wife.
And it was so funny. And that kid going, Grandma! And he turns around and John's like,
oh, no.
God.
Oh, no.
And then later the guy's like, nothing better than eating off another man's grill.
Yeah. And also, John's a vegan in this. I don't know if that's a canon thing or they were just like, because when they said that, I thought it was a joke.
I genuinely thought it was just Hal making a joke and being a shithead and then John going along with it because he wasn't going to be like, no, I'm not a blah, blah, blah. Like,
and I kind of thought clearly not, right? They never go back on that.
Maybe, I mean, he could be one of those guys who's just like, so like my body is a pure temple of
I mean, yes, that's what it is. Well, I also love
I
love their relationship where like Hal is trying to get arrested so he can go talk to that guy. And
it may look like they're beating up.
It may look like they're really beating me up, but do not feel inclined to him. He's like, no worries, you're on your own.
And Hal's like, what?
And he goes over and he gives him the ring and he does his thing.
The concept of Hal picking the song Brand New Key by Melanie to be the song that pisses the bar patrons off enough for it plays 3 times. Because, and I like that song, but even 2 times is a little much. What was also, and I made this joke, and this is a niche joke only for me, but there are enough songs and the overlap between this pilot episode and the soundtrack of Boogie Nights, I can only hope and dream.
Yeah, Tom King and Damon Lindelof.
Yeah, I know what they're thinking about.
Yeah, that's really funny.
But also, to me, it's a funny joke, but also because Hal is what? So he becomes Green Lantern in 1986, so he grew up in the 70s. Like, that's the music he listens to.
And doesn't want, the another thing I like is he doesn't want the suit, right?
Yeah.
He's, again, so they've clearly hinted that he broke an oath at some point, because when he hears the Green Lantern oath, he gets really angry.
Pissed.
Yeah.
What school did Harry Potter go to? Mm-hmm. Harry Potter went to Hogwarts,
and that's the part he's the most mad about.
So fun. They only made like 22 of them. So, which he points out this really great, like, this interrogation scene, everything in the interrogation scene was like my favorite part of the episode. But when he's like, oh, you trained on football and all this other stuff, but like not any of the basic information that everybody else knows.
Yeah.
And the alien being like, it's a stupid game that makes no sense that you care more about than the welfare of your own people. And you're like, oh.
And you're like, dang
also
it.
Correct.
Yeah, so I love that he said that, but then he was also like, we're against you. We want war.
Yeah.
Right? You know, okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. I also love that John is an artist in this. He carries around his little sketchbook a lot and just sketches. I think that I really loved that note.
Yeah. He helps the grandson with his football aiming. Yeah. Which was like football aiming? That was a weird way I put that, but you knew what I meant. Football means nothing to me. But I just liked it. I just like everyone felt so lived in already in a way that I really enjoyed.
I really feel like I'm dropped into the middle of something in a good way, in a way where it's like, clearly we're going to see the scene where John gets chosen. Yeah. Clearly we're going to see the scene that Hal messed up and broke an oath or something. Clearly we're going to get the off-world training stuff. Like I feel really dropped into the middle of it where I'm off kilter, but I'm like leaning in, right? Yeah. Because like John's in this place and he's waiting for somebody who goes outside, and Hal rolls up and he's like, I'm late. Are you not mad I'm late? Like we have this thing where Hal stopped backing up his consciousness. In that part,
10 years ago.
In 2006, he stopped doing it, and that personality's so different, right? So something clearly happened in that 10-year period.
De-aging technology was really good on that. Yeah, he looks like 2006 Kyle Chandler in a way that I appreciate.
We see the snippet of the suit, which has been maybe the most controversial part of this show. Mm-hmm. We see the snippet of it in his like 60 Minutes interview or whatever, and it looks much better in that snippet. And they're clearly doing the suit has aged. The suit is now more brown. Like, I just really hope John gets his classic, like, green and black suit. Like, that's all, with a white symbol. That's all I want. That's all I want. Yeah. I just want him to have now, I'm still in the middle on whether or not I wish the rings generated the suits. I love a transforming hero. I grew up on the Power Rangers. I really love Radiant Black. I
guess I never realized. So the suit and the ring are separate.
In this version, and in some like Earth 1's version, it is different. It is there are two different, like, it's a space suit that when the ring activates, it like generates a glowing symbol on their chest. Oh. But like Guy Gardner's suit is its own suit, and Hal clearly has his own suit. Yeah. I think I prefer the generated suit. However, I love a hero suit up scene. So like, if they give me that, I'll be into it.
It's also, and then it gives us like the delicious like implication of like Hal doesn't feel as though he can wear the suit anymore for whatever reason. Yeah, which is delicious.
I'm very excited. That's things.
I love a man and his broken vows and oaths.
Yeah, while it's not the pilot of Barry, or it's not like one of these great all-timer pilot episodes. It is doing exactly what a pilot episode needs to do. And you and I know about a good pilot episode. It's not the pilot of Supernatural, but it's
what can be.
Yeah, it's got me really interested. I'm very excited for next week. For you and I to like watch a TV show week to week is we don't do it often.
We don't do it. We're movie people.
We're movie people for sure.
We're movie people, and then our job is to talk about Supernatural, so it doesn't leave us a lot of room to watch other TV shows most of the time.
So like we're watching like Game of Thrones, but that's all out.
Yeah. We watched Widow's Bay week to week.
We watched Widow's Bay week to week.
Week to week. We were very behind.
We caught up. Widow's Bay is like the best show of the year. It's so good.
Love Widow's Bay.
Apple TV kind of doing the best stuff in television.
Apple TV, shout out my goat Apple TV. Yeah. But it's, again, we had kind of a desert of TV for a little bit in terms of like, oh, cool, this is like overlit or underlit or blah 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 or blah blah blah. And I just really enjoy a show treating me like an adult person watching an adult's TV show with adult themes and knowing that I'm smart enough to follow things.
Yeah.
Because again, so much is has to be hand fed to you now.
Yeah. Well, in something I appreciate in that same vein of like, all the Marvel stuff has to feel the same.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that even with Supergirl does not feel like Superman in the same way. It does not feel shot the same. It does not feel colored the same. The same with Peacemaker. The same with Clayface, clearly based on those trailers.
Yeah.
And I like that this feels like its own thing too, right? Feels like they can exist within the same world. Because like in the 2016 timeline, we don't have Superman yet.
No.
Right?
Yeah, because what year does Superman take place in 2026 or 2025?
2025.
So he's only been Superman since 2022.
Yeah. So they don't have Superman. They're really only proper superhero at the time was Green Lantern.
Yeah, like they don't, because Hawkgirl's young. Obviously, Guy has nothing to do with anything yet.
Not yet.
Mr. Miracle, we don't know how long he's been around.
I say that,
Mr.
but
Miracle, Mr. Fantastic. What?
I say that, but we definitely have had a Justice Society.
Yeah.
Like Ted Grant is definitely a character that existed in this world. Dr. Fate is definitely somewhere.
Yeah.
They've definitely had heroes. So maybe, but he's
I
the
meant
only
Mr.
one that's
Terrific, by the way, not Mr. Miracle.
Yeah.
I don't know who Mr. Miracle is.
Mr. Miracle is a character. There's Mr. Miracle and Miracle Man. But
the issue is I'm always switching between Mr. Miracle, Mr. Fantastic, and Mr. Terrific.
No.
Guys,
Yeah.
we got to get different names.
No. Anyway, so I am, this reaffirms the thing I like about it, which is like not every project is going to be for me, but the ones that are really going to be for me.
Yeah.
They don't have to be tangentially for me. They can be wholehearted. Like the setup of this is wholeheartedly something I love.
Yeah.
I love a small town. I love a grumpy old man.
Buddy, we got to get you on True Detective.
Well, you've been saying for weeks, we got to start it.
Got to do it.
So anyway, I am very on board with where this is going. I'm very on board with the casting. I think
the trailer filled me with glee.
Yeah, Aaron Pierre is. If you haven't watched Rebel Ridge, watch Rebel Ridge. Aaron Pierre is so good and underutilized talent,
And so handsome. Those are two very handsome looking men.
I know,
very handsome men that I do enjoy seeing together on my television screen.
Yeah. All right.
Kyle Chandler returning to Prestige TV.
Other thoughts?
Just Kyle Chandler returning to Prestige TV. Would you call Friday Night Lights Prestige TV?
I have no idea. I never watched it.
Chime in down below, I guess.
It's definitely before the era of like the TV renaissance, but it was still
like mid-renaissance though. It came on when Sopranos was on the air.
Yeah, but Sopranos wasn't the TV. I'm talking about the Prestige television TV renaissance was the streaming era when like all of a sudden they were like we're making things with with massive budgets as opposed to TV budgets. So I don't know.
Yeah, chime in down below, I guess, what you would consider. Because, however, Friday Night Lights almost got canceled like every season.
It'll happen.
I think it bounced networks like 3 times.
Yeah.
It's crazy work.
All right. Next.
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Nothing else? All right. I know it's a short episode. We're not going to do a B segment or anything, but we're going to give some recommendations. Yeah. Do you have any recommendations?
Well, we've been watching Game of Thrones lately because I'm the only person in the world who's never seen Game of Thrones.
That is true.
I think every woman on that show should get to kill with impunity.
Yeah.
I think they should all be allowed to do that.
Pretty much.
What else are we watching? I'm watching a lot of like not great Netflix documentaries, but which reminds me that we've talked obviously about Batman. You guys know Robert Pattinson, our close and personal friend Robert Pattinson. If you're excited about Primetime coming out next month, right? In September?
I think so.
Then you should watch the documentary Predators on Paramount Plus.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Whoo, boy. If you watched Lanterns and you like weird, dark, sad stuff, fascinating documentary on To Catch a Predator if you want to get some required reading done before you go see Primetime with Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
What else are we watching? I saw I Want Your Sex by Greg Araki, starring Olivia Wilde and Cooper Hoffman. Great, hilarious. You know that movie's going to rock if you're seeing it at 10 p.m. and there's an old couple in there.
Yeah.
That's certified heat. What else? I think that's really it. We've been busy. Haven't been watching much lately.
That is true.
Yeah. What about you?
I am going to recommend Pacific Rim.
We watched last night.
We watched Pacific Rim. That movie's metal as hell. Yeah. It's so good. I also want to recommend New Girl. It's been really bumping New Girl. Yeah. I'm watching a lot of that.
You get one wife. Where the world works.
Yeah. Why?
I don't know.
It's like just a treasure trove of great
Gave
bits.
me cookie, got you cookie, man.
Yeah, we're even. You chose the wrong guy. You chose the wrong guy. So good. I had another one that I wanted to recommend. I kind of can't remember it. I've been really deep into Halo. I've been replaying the Halo games. Yeah, so I'll leave it there. I mean,
Yeah.
you and I I recommend going to the movie theater.
Genuinely, I recommend go on Stimulus Tuesday, as they say. Get you a $5 ticket, get a little popcorn.
I recommend comic books, just in general. Comic books.
Literally. I recommend Superman for All Seasons.
Yes,
I've read a comic.
Hey, she did it. Anyway,
he recommends Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
I do really. The comic book I recommend Supergirl.
Above
Woman
all,
of Tomorrow.
Supergirl is kind.
Above all, Supergirl is kind. Okay, so that's our kind of brief conversation on the pilot episode of Lanterns. Watch that show. I really do think it's really very good. And then, go watch a bunch of okay documentaries. Go watch Predators. Read some comic books. Watch Pacific Rim. Or don't. I don't know. Live your life.